So I just got done watching X018 with my buddies, and I know I normally do a reaction podcast when there's a big time show, E3 and things like that. But honestly, I didn't feel X018 was worthy of a live show, so I'm going to do this pre-recorded video. And I know some of the people will be upset at my opinion, and that's perfectly fine, but I felt X018 was incredibly boring, even though it had some good information presented within. So let's talk about it, shall we? What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And hey, if you like this video by the end, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. But yeah, 2 hours. Show did not need to be 2 hours long. Could have been a very tight hour and 15 minutes. And you know what? I was really feeling the show in the beginning. The crowd in Mexico City was really hyped up, and I actually enjoyed that aspect of people screaming, "Sea of Thieves, Sea of Thieves," even though they're probably being told what to scream. It kind of added something different to a live show. And after thinking about the show in general, it really came across that it was a gigantic advertisement for Xbox Game Pass. And I'm not sure bringing back XO to be an advertisement for Game Pass was the best idea. Yes, we did have 2 new studio acquisitions, and they ended the show on that, almost keeping people hostage until the end to see what studios were joining the Microsoft family. But this was clearly a show about trying to sell you Xbox Game Pass with a whole bunch of new games joining, with you being able to get the first month for a single dollar. So there was a bunch of Game Pass announcements spread throughout the entire show, and at some point I'll just go over all of them. But it started out with PUBG joining Xbox Game Pass on November 12th. We all know it's coming to the PlayStation 4 on December. Amazon leaked it. It's coming December 8th. And I think this announcement of joining Game Pass might take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of PUBG coming to the PlayStation 4. But realistically, I was feeling that announcement. I thought the beginning was good, and we got the Crackdown 3. This is one of the things I really wanted to see, and quite frankly, it didn't disappoint. The Terry Crews commercial that was playing was awesome. I am so happy he's in the game. Hopefully you can play as him throughout the entirety of the campaign, as I feel like his shenanigans and his dialogue and just his energy will make Crackdown 3 worthy of a playthrough. And then of course, they showed off what everybody's wanted to see since 2015, the Wrecking Zone 5v5 mode. And it looks completely destructible. I've seen reactions on the internet, some really like it, some don't like it. I enjoyed the reveal, right? As long as the full destructibility is there, I'm down for it. It's got the nice, verticality with the agents jumping up and down. Lock-on, though, for a multiplayer game is a little bit weird, in my opinion, and you guys probably agree with that. Like, lock-on, I know it's a staple of Crackdown, and that's how it works, but in a multiplayer competitive environment where you kill somebody and you pick up their dog tag or whatever, like kill confirmed in Call of Duty, and that's how it works, it just, I don't know if lock-on kind of cheapens the experience, but hey, Microsoft promised full destructibility, they showed it off, multiplayer's coming, and February 15th, so it's no longer been delayed, or not getting delayed again, and those people that said it was going to be canceled look pretty stupid now. They moved it up from February 22nd, which was really good. So Crackdown hitting on February 15th, and I'm excited to finally be able to play it. Phil Spencer then came on stage to give, like a speech. He wasn't on stage, he was with the crowd, talking from the heart. Very genuine guy, I know him personally, talked to him quite a bit. He is a good dude, and he means everything he says. He talked about wanting to make the Windows Store a priority, which they really need to if they want to expand in there. He just really seems enthusiastic about the fans, the culture and community and they're building there at Xbox, and it just exudes from him. I know some people think he's like a snake oil salesman and that he just talks, but I know that to be different. So I think Phil Spencer is doing exactly what he feels is the best to do. And yeah, the Windows Store does need to be cleaned up. And, I mean, I like the guy. What else can I say about him? Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, this is where the show just went off the rails for me. I enjoyed everything previous. I was really into it. But they brought out, I'm not even sure the guy's name, he's the head of Square Enix, I believe, or head of Final Fantasy. And they did this really long, drawn-out translation thing where Jeff Rubenstein would say something, he'd give a long answer, and then the person translating would give a very emotionless answer back. And it just led to just me yawning. I even stopped watching the live stream. That's where I first started like, okay, what are people talking about? Because normally I don't do that. But yes, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming. But they didn't announce Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, the collection, which I think is a big missed opportunity. They did announce that Final Fantasy 13, 2, and Lightning Returns are coming to back compat, which is pretty cool. And they also announced that Civ Rev for the 360 is getting X enhanced. But no announcements about OG Xbox games, which was something that I thought they would clearly do here, but they didn't. And, you know, Microsoft did say that there wouldn't be as many OG Xbox games as 360 games, so maybe we've gotten all of there is out of that, you know, program for OG Xbox, or maybe they'll do some more next year. I don't really know. Next up, we had Sea of Thieves with their new expansion coming early 2019, and it's called the Arena, which, you know, kind of looked interesting. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not the biggest Sea of Thieves fan, right? So I haven't really played it very much, but that mode of a PvP thing looked really I'm kind of was like, all right, maybe I'll try this out, see what it's more like when it launches on early next year. They all went into Jump Force, had a little segment on that, coming February 15th, and they gave some kid a free Xbox One X. Clearly didn't speak English and clearly didn't know what was going on. And they, you know, since the anniversary of the X 1 year anniversary, they had a little like birthday hat on him. The whole kind of thing there seems a little bit cringy, but what are you gonna do? They brought up State of Decay 2, had a trailer for them with a new update called Zed Hunter. They announced 4 million players, which is actually quite a bit, a lot more than a lot of people thought State of Decay 2 would have. Then they went into Just Cause 4, give some new info about the game, a new trailer. The game looks pretty. I'm just worried about the performance issues that you know the game is going to have. They showed a 5-minute trailer for Devil May Cry, showing off the Void mode. That game comes in March. Xbox clearly has a deal with them. I can't wait to play it myself. And you can see I'm not really talking so much about what's happening anymore because it was just like, it kind of just started to get so boring from a show perspective that I lost my interest, right? Then we went into Minecraft, Cats and Panda, yeah. They announced this new Cats and Panda thing coming to Minecraft, 91 million players a month, which is absolutely insane if you think about it. That's more people that play on Xbox Live. That's more people that play on PlayStation. Hell, I think that's even more monthly players that play on Steam. Minecraft is just absolutely a monster. And while we'll get into it, why don't we get into the Game Pass stuff right now? Because this was the big thing about the show. Every time they would do one of these games, they would also be like, hey, we got Game Pass games coming, over 16 of them. So I'm just going to go over the list because it's a pretty big list. A lot of games coming to the service like day one, which is something I really think is cool about Xbox Game Pass. So like I said, PUBG coming on November 12th. Thief of Thieves available today as part of Xbox Game Pass, so you can download that right now, as well as Agents of Mayhem, MXGP3, and Thomas Was Alone starting on November 22nd. Now, Thomas Was Alone is a great indie game. I really enjoyed that. Agents of Mayhem, kind of a Saints Row-ish game by the devs of Saints Row. Didn't do very well, but it adds value to Game Pass. They also announced that Ori and the Blind Forest, Kingdom 2 Crowns, and Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice would be just joining in December, which is absolutely fantastic. Hellblade is an amazing game. Microsoft bought the studio that made it, Ninja Theory. Ori and the Blind Forest, one of my favorite games of the entire generation. If you guys haven't played either of those, look forward to playing it in December. Those two games are a must. And then they also announced games that will be coming to Game Pass and the day they will debut on Xbox period, which is something I always really enjoy. And those games include Aftercharge, Supermarket Shriek, Mutant Year Zero, Pathologic 2, The Good Life, Void Bastards, and Secret Neighbor. And they also confirmed finally that Ori and the Will of the Wisp will be available in Xbox Game Pass, tied to its global release when it comes out sometime next year. And they also have that deal I mentioned, where if you haven't signed up for Game Pass or haven't used it yet, you can get the first month for $1. So this show, as much as it being about a celebration of Xbox in Mexico with the fans, as much as it was about announcing the addition of 2 new studios, it really was a commercial for Xbox Game Pass. We then got a new trailer for Shadow of the Tomb Raider's new DLC, which kind of looked cool, adds some sort of co-op element to it. Really looking forward to getting back to that. And then they had the mouse and keyboard segment where they announced 14 titles having mouse and keyboard support, and it's a pretty interesting list. You have Bomber Crew, Warface, Children of Morta, DayZ, Warframe, Strange Brigade, Deep Rock Galactic, Warhammer Vermintide 2, Moonlighter, Vigor, War Thunder, X-Morph Defense, and the big one, Fortnite, all getting mouse and keyboard support on the Xbox. And they also talked a little bit about their Razer partnership, how they're building like a wireless keyboard and mouse for Xbox, and they'll unveil that at CES 2019. They had a nice little trailer showing off the Metro Exodus Collector's Edition. Looked pretty cool. Chris Charla went up on stage and talked about ID at Xbox, After Party, Sable, Oblitz, and Tunic, 4 really cool looking games, and announced that Winter of Arcade is coming. Yes, the brother of Summer of Arcade, which Microsoft used to do during the 360 era. Now they're doing Winter of Arcade, and they said, hey, tune in to the Game Awards on December 6th, because they have a whole bunch of games launching in December. I would imagine that is when we'll finally see the release of Ashen and Below, and who knows what else. They went into Forza Horizon 4, showing off the first expansion coming on December 13th, and it's Fortune Island with like extreme weather. They showed off lightning hitting everything, and like really interesting and precarious like cliff driving and stuff. Always look forward to checking out the DLC on Forza Horizon. They announced, Crazy Larry announced the Black Friday deals, $100 off all the family of Xbox products. So Xbox One X is going to be like $399, which is the lowest price ever. I'm not really sure what the S is going for, maybe $199 or something. I'm not sure, I didn't catch that. But controllers are on sale, everything's on sale. But the big announcement that everyone's going to be talking about outside of Crackdown and the Game Pass things was Matt Booty taking stage and announcing the purchase of not 1, but 2 new studios, Obsidian Entertainment and In Exile Entertainment. Yes, 2 studios, 2 RPG studios, and this is what the Xbox Newswire had to say about the acquisitions. As part of our commitment to bringing a steady stream of new exclusive games to our fans, Matt Booty announced Microsoft's intent to acquire 2 game development studios, Obsidian Entertainment and In Exile Entertainment. The teams at Obsidian and In Exile share a distinguished reputation for creating deep, engaging role-playing games. As part of Microsoft Studios, Obsidian and In Exile will have the support and freedom to fully realize creative ambitions on both existing franchises and new products. These 2 creative teams will continue to operate autonomously and bring their unique talents, IP, and expertise to Microsoft Studios as they build new RPG experiences for our players and fans. So there you guys go. The reason why XO was here. 2 brand new studios, which brings the total up to 7 this year. I know you can say, hey, I wanted to see these brand new games or what they're making, like Ninja Theory's game or Playground's Fable game, and I want to see them too. But for a long time, people complained that Microsoft didn't have the first-party lineup to compete with Sony or Nintendo. They rectified that this year, adding 600 game developers, building a brand new studio in the initiative, and then basically buying 6 other ones to make content for the future. And I know that's going to be a little bit disappointing for people to hear. You know, this gen's almost over. Everything that they're doing is with an eye on next generation. But it is what it is. So as a show, as a 2-hour produced show, I felt it didn't hit the mark, and I was completely bored once the Kingdom Hearts 3 translation thing hit. Very, very bored. Not sure why they felt this was appropriate to bring XO back, as it was just like gigantic commercial for Game Pass. But the information presented in this show was pretty good. You know, I like all the stuff being added to Game Pass. I like the Forza Horizon DLC. Crackdown 3 looks pretty cool. Obviously, the acquisition of 2 new studios is very nice to get more exclusive content for Xbox, but the presentation needs to be fixed. This could have been an hour-long, tightly packed show that people would have been like, hey, that was really good. Instead, you're going to hear people say, it was okay, it was meh, it was terrible. I don't think it was terrible. It was just incredibly boring. And throughout the week, I'll be making other videos talking about specific things that happened during the show. Anyways, guys, that is my review for X018. Me and Jez will have a reaction podcast sometime this week, maybe even tomorrow. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it out with a friend on your social media or Twitter. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit that notification bell if you want to always be notified when I drop new content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.